As homecoming weekend comes to a close, TV2 has a recap on what you may have missed and what students and alumni are saying about the events that took place on campus.
October marks Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Find out what Kent State is doing to raise awareness and prevent health issues in women across the area.
Kent State football took on Ohio in their homecoming game, but did they come out on top? Stay tuned to see if they did.
National Taco Day is Tuesday, and Taco Bell has a surprise for customers. All these stories and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Erin Sullivan.
And I'm Nuried Hurtado.
It's been 50 years of Title IX, which prohibits discrimination based on sex in education programs that receive federal assistance.
So Sydney, it's to my understanding that you'll learn more today about the impact of Title IX here at Kent State.
That's right. I spoke with Isabella Schreck, Kent Wired sports reporter, and who did a 3-part in-depth report on the importance of Title IX in women's athletics. Take a look. Isabella, thank you so much for joining us. I want to know, why did you pursue this story?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited. So originally, I really had no idea it was going to turn into a project like this. I was sitting at a gymnastics meet, and I covered gymnastics last season. And I was sitting there, and I was going online to look at like the stats from a meet before to bring in the story, and it said celebrating 50 years of Title IX in the banner head.
Yeah.
So I clicked on that, and I read about it a little bit, and I was like, wow, that would be really awesome. So then, I talked with some people from the newspaper, and they were like, this would be really great. So then I originally started talking with Suzette McQueen, who is in charge of, she's like the senior women's administrator, and she got me in touch with Judy Devine. And again, I had no idea it was going to turn into anything like this, and Judy was so helpful and inspirational, and everything she was saying, it was like I wanted to learn more. Yeah. So everything, we would be on a conversation maybe for like 2 hours on the phone, and she would say, and I was like, oh, you just had a million questions follow up, and I had like such a fun time with it.
Definitely. I love this like women empowering women theme throughout all
Absolutely.
of the research you've done for this. But what did you take away from this experience? You learned so much.
I think I took away how it was not easy to fight for like equality. Mm-hmm. I think that was sort of the thing. Like they were asking for things that had never been done for women before, but they weren't asking for things that had never been done at all. Yeah. Like they were asking for uniforms, they were asking for practice fields that they could use that were their own. They were asking for equipment, they were asking for even like busing. Yeah. That was one of the crazy things. So I thought that was just really crazy to hear that, like how hard it was, and how these women were not paid very well either, so they had jobs in addition to coaching, like either they were volunteer coaches or they had like minimal salaries. But the other thing is like it was like a second job for them having to advocate with the administration, and it wasn't just at Kent, it was women all over. Mm-hmm. But specifically, I know that was the real thing that stuck out, even like talking with women at the Title IX celebration they did over the weekend for homecoming, how they emphasized like it felt like it was kind of like a second job,
yeah.
To like, you have your job as an administrator or as a coach, but then you're also having to work to fight for more for your athletes and also for yourself. Yeah.
So what's the future for Title IX on campus?
I guess the future would be obviously to understand that it is, like women have made such strides, yeah. but it's not all the way there. I think a big thing I always look at is women head coaches. I think you can look professionally, but even you can look at Kent State. There's not many. I think there's 3. So I think looking with that, it's like head coaches, not even, also looking at, women coaching women's sports, but women coaching men's sports, how that's not very common at all. Yeah. So I think with that, with scholarships, keeping, them in line. I know sometimes, football scholarships, they get the priority because it's making the money, but I think also just look at the other sports who are also doing really, really well. And also just to focus, especially we work on this with our coverage, is to focus on the women's sports. They are doing really, really well. Like sports, especially like field hockey, I feel like that's one maybe people don't follow as much as you would maybe basketball or something like that. But like sports like that, it's really exciting. The athleticism the women have is inspiring. And also just, I guess, learning from women from the past. And when just talking with them and hearing those stories, is they all have something different, to share, and they also all kind of have a commonality and stuff with fighting for equality. But I think just to keep in mind that, just to remember it, I think the university is doing a very good job with that. So
That's amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. I really appreciate the time.
Thanks.
You can read Isabella's full story on the importance of Title IX on KentWire.com. I've been Sydney Brown.
Thanks, Sydney. And former female athletes were honored for the 50th anniversary of Title IX at this year's homecoming.
Our own Alexa Warmuth went to the parade and has a story. Take a look.
Kent State students, parents, faculty, and community members gathered bright and early Saturday morning to experience the annual homecoming parade.
The homecoming parade aspect of it brings people together because you're literally sitting or standing next to random people who are here for the same reason as you, and I think that really builds a community.
The homecoming parade is a yearly tradition that brings together many different groups of people from the Kent area. Many organizations, colleges, and clubs walk in the parade, showing their school spirit.
I'm just excited to watch the parade because I haven't seen it. I didn't see it last year, so I'm excited to be able to do that this year because I was regretting it last year.
Many of the parade goers were students, but parents and faculty also came to support Kent State.
I have a freshman at Kent State. It's her first year here, and then my mother and my sister both are alumni.
The parade began at 10:30 a.m. on the corner of Midway Drive and Main Street. Many participants and spectators gathered throughout Main Street in downtown Kent.
It brings people cheer, especially when it starts to get cold out. It's a fun activity, and it just shows overall Kent State spirit, I guess.
I think it brings the student and the outside community together because it's just a fun town event and college event.
For TV2 News, I'm Alexa Warmuth.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the Employee Wellness and Health Promotion Office is offering on-site 3D mammography screenings for Kent State employees. Employee Wellness, in partnership with Women's Diagnostic Center, will offer digital mammograms in their mobile coach unit park in Hare Hall starting today throughout Thursday.
And Flash Activities announced a paint and sip and have scattered a few perks in the event as well. If you attend the event, you have the chance to win an iPad with an Apple Pencil. And the event will allow students to paint tote bags, canvases, records, and more. The event will only serve non-alcoholic beverages. And to learn more about this, go to the Flash Activities board on Instagram at fab_KSU.
The LGBTQ+ Center will be holding their 7th annual Rainbow Run this Friday, October 7 at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20 for students and $25 for non-students. All the profits will go to the LGBTQ Emergency Fund, which helps students with financial crisis. Also, the run will have prizes for Best Rainbow Attire and Best Rainbow Pet. You can participate in person running on campus or join virtually doing a route of your choice.
The inaugural Kent State Anti-Racism Conference hosted by the Anti-Racism Task Force will be October 6th to the 7th. An email was sent to Kent State students and faculty where they were encouraged to attend. The conference will highlight ways to actively be anti-racist on Kent's campus and will aim to view issues through an intersectional lens. For more information, you can visit Kent State's website at kent.edu and visit the Anti-Racism Efforts page.
Hello all, Portage County, Northeast Ohio. I hope you're having a nice Monday evening out there. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Amador-Gorby with your Monday evening weather forecast. Now, currently in Kent, we are dealing with beautiful skies out there, 60 degrees, feels like 65 out there with sunny skies, dew point 34, winds moving west at 7 miles per hour, humidity at 31%, and visibility at 10 miles. It is definitely a gorgeous evening, to say the least. And as we look across our area right now, temperatures are in the 60s in Kent, 58 in Cleveland, Sandusky at 59, 62 in Mansfield, Worcester at 63, 60 in Youngstown, 54 in Ashtabula, 64 in Canton. It is definitely a gorgeous evening out there. So if you're out there going about evening plans, definitely enjoy this warm weather while it lasts. And here's your hour-by-hour forecast. We can clearly see towards 7 o'clock tonight will be cloudy skies, 54 degrees. Towards 9 o'clock, it'll be 48 degrees with cloudy skies, and towards 11 o'clock with 45 degrees and cloudy skies. That's all I have for now, folks. In my next update, I'll be talking about a nice, brief, summer-like warm-up for this week. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thank you, Odin. A Kent man was charged with aggravated murder on Saturday and was arraigned today in a shooting of a motorcyclist in Cleveland last week. With the case still under investigation, 50-year-old Randall Russell Buckhalter was held in jail during the weekend and was charged for the death of 33-year-old Giacomo Di Soto.
Fair Lawn police are investigating after a single shot was fired inside Summit Mall Sunday afternoon. Police say a CCW holder was approached by two males who instigated a fight. The man then drew his firearm and was tackled by the two men. When he was tackled, one round was fired from his pistol into the ceiling. After the incident, the suspects fled the scene and currently no charges have been filed.
Akron police are investigating after a man says two people forced him to withdraw money out of an ATM. According to the police department, the incident occurred at around 3:45 a.m. Saturday on Triplet Boulevard. The victim said the two suspects forced their way into his car at gunpoint and dropped to the nearest ATM, withdrew cash, and left out. The car was found later that morning on Reed Avenue, and the case is still under investigation.
And two children are dead after a weekend crash in Canton. Police say 31-year-old Javen Martin lost control of his vehicle and went off the road, hitting a tree and killing his two sons, who were only 10 and 13 years old. Canton school districts are offering counseling to classmates of the two boys. This incident is still under investigation at this time.
The Supreme Court might make some changes on the future of internet speech. More ahead.
Will we be feeling warm summer-like temperatures this week? I'll have the latest in your forecast after the break.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Are you tired of razor bumps and burn?
Too busy to shave every day?
Ditch the razor. Treat yourself to self-care that's smooth.
New Waxing Center, across from Ravina Walmart.
Less than 15 minutes from KSU.
Not ready to part ways with your hair?
Choose skincare with our custom facials and age-defying treatments.
Call to book a reservation
at Universe Luxury Waxing Center at 330-548-9570. 330-548-9570.
And inflation is on the rise and how it could impact your holiday shopping this season.
Our correspondent Anthony Leonardi has more.
Thanks, guys. We begin tonight with Ohio announcing a new minimum wage increase. Starting in January 2023, the minimum wage will rise to $10.10 for all non-tipped employees and $5.05 for tipped employees. The increase will only apply to companies that gross $371,000 a year. Small businesses that make less than that amount are still permitted to pay employees the federal minimum wage of $7.25. And be sure to check the cheese in your refrigerator. If the brand is Old Europe cheese, you may want to throw it away. The company issued a recall of their Brie and Camembert cheese because of a potential contamination of Listeria, which could cause serious or deadly infections. So far, there have not been any reports of illness. To learn more about the recall, you can visit the FDA's website. And Amazon released a new shopping portal called Amazon Access. The portal is meant for shoppers who receive government assistance. Company officials say that they want people who are struggling financially to have better and in some cases less expensive options. More information on the new program is available on Amazon.com. Investigations found that fraud and theft is occurring on the electronic payment service Zelle. The investigation report that roughly $440 million were lost through fraud and scams last year. After Senator Warren's office looked into the issue, they found that fraud is increasing on Zelle, and banks are not refunding most of the customers, and it would potentially be a violation of federal law. In other news, with Christmas slowly approaching, tree farmers are starting to warn customers that the cost of trees may rise this year. Most plan to charge retailers 5 to 15% more, and some even say they will charge up to 20% more. Tree farms have said the price increase is not because of a shortage of trees, rather they come from higher operating costs over the past year. Samples are slowly returning to some Trader Joe's stores. The stores have been serving snacks and treats to their customers, which is a big opportunity for startup brands to release their products to customers. Hot coffee, unfortunately, is still not going to be handed out until further notice. That's all for today's Consumer Watch. I'm Anthony Leonardi with TV2 News.
Thanks, Anthony. And the U.S. Department of Education said an application to apply for student loan forgiveness will be available in early October. However, those who are eligible will need to be aware of a few dates. Student loan relief plan is on its way, and you need to submit your application before November 15th to ensure you will get your balance eliminated or reduced before the student loan payment pause ends on January 1st, 2023. Borrowers who expect to still have a monthly payment after forgiveness should start salting away some extra money now, experts say, to make sure they can accommodate the bill next year. December 31st, 2023 is the final deadline to apply for one-time student loan debt relief through studentaid.gov.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look at your live radar, and clearly tonight we are dealing with nothing out there, which is really wonderful. It is going to be clear skies, to say the least, but it will be cloudy though. But as you can clearly see all across our area, we are dealing with perfect conditions, no rain in sight. That is always a nice thing to report on. And as we look across our state right now, we can clearly see our temperatures are looking very nice out there too. 63 in Akron, 61 in Steubenville, 65 in Athens, 66 in Columbus, Dayton at 67, Lima at 64, and Cincinnati at 68 degrees. It is definitely a nice night out there. Not too hot, not too cold. Perfect weather for going out shopping, getting stuff done around your home. And as we look across our national view right now, we can clearly see that we will be dealing with warm air, as warm air from the Gulf of Mexico will be coming through just throughout this whole week, creating really warm weather pattern. We are expecting temperatures to be up into the 70s this week, so it'll definitely be a very nice week, to say the least, out there. And as we look at your 7-day outlook, we could clearly see that, towards your Tuesday, we'll be dealing with partly cloudy skies, but then the sun will come out towards your Wednesday with highs up into the 70s. And then towards your Thursday, we will continue those highs in the 70s as we deal with some cloudy skies. But then a cold front will move through, bringing rain towards your Friday with highs in the 50s. And then towards your weekend, it will be sunny for your Saturday and Sunday with highs up into the 50s. And towards your Monday, we'll be dealing with partly cloudy skies with highs in the 60s as well. So it'll definitely be a very nice week out there, to say the least. That's about wraps up my Monday evening weather forecast. Please enjoy these warm weather days ahead. Have a nice week, everyone. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Search and rescue teams have been out countless hours, straight through the night, nonstop, with over 800 rescues. That's huge. That's 800 people that we were able to touch that were in desperate need of help. Our death toll is at 54.
The death toll after Hurricane Ian rose to 100 people Monday. More than 1,000 people were rescued in southwest and central Florida since last week, and nearly 600,000 homes and businesses still did not have power, and many are without clean water as well. U.S. officials vowed Sunday to unleash a massive amount of federal disaster aid crews to help and rescue people stranded by the storm.
And the President and First Lady are expected to visit Puerto Rico to see the damage Hurricane Fiona caused. The Bidens and FEMA's administrator will meet with the residents and help with the community project that bags essential items for those in need. President Biden will also soon announce $60 million of funding from a bipartisan infrastructure law. That money will be used to help prepare Puerto Rico against future threats from nature.
The U.S. Supreme Court justices have begun a new term and adding 9 cases to its docket, and 2 of the cases involve the future of internet speech. Gonzalez versus Google will consider the scope of a federal law that social media companies says them protect them from lawsuits, opening risks for tech platforms such as Google, Meta, and Twitter. On the other hand, Twitter versus Tamim will whether social media companies can be sued for aiding and abetting an act of terrorism.
And 3 U.S. postal workers have been arrested in a $1.3 million fraud and identity theft scheme. The Justice Department accused the employees of an accomplice of stealing credit cards in the mail. According to the DOJ, the credit cards were used at high-end retail stores in New York and New Jersey. 5 other individuals are involved in the scheme and still remain at large. If found guilty, those involved may face lengthy prison sentences.
Kim Kardashian will have to pay a good amount of money. Find out why after the break.
Finally, Kent State wrapped up homecoming week with their football game against Ohio. Find out how they fared after a word from these messages.
Sports Report.
To finish off homecoming week, Kent State's football team squared off against the Ohio Bobcats to kick off MAC play.
TV2 sports anchor Mark Kirali is here to talk about the big game. Matt, good evening.
Nuried, Erin, good evening, guys. That's right. The Golden Flashes came into Saturday's game putting up the most points on the #1 team in the country in Georgia, but they had to take care of their home turf. Let's head to the highlights to see if they get the win. We'll start us off. Here comes Flash and the cheerleaders about to take the field for the homecoming game up against Ohio. In front of a packed Dick Stadium, a big game as this will kick off MAC play. We're going to pick it up with 4:03 left, game tied at 17, but OU quarterback Curtis Rourke is going to launch a deep shot, and it's caught by Sam Wilglis for a 71-yard touchdown. Bobcats lead 24-17. Next Flash's drive, quarterback Colin Schlee finds an opening up the middle and scores from 11 yards out to tie the game. It's 24-all. Now with 2 seconds left in the game, kicker Andrew Glass for Kent State has his 47-yard field goal blocked, and we go to overtime. But in overtime, wideout Dante Cephas rumbles and tumbles. He's going to go all the way down to the 1. The very next play, running back for the Flashes, Marquez Cooper scores and touchdown Kent State. Flashes up 31-24. One last chance for OU. Rourke's pass knocked away by Antoine Richardson. Kent State wins the homecoming game 31-24. Now yesterday, the women's soccer team managed a 2-2 draw against Toledo at Zeller Field at Dick Stadium. The score was 2-1. The Rockets, for the majority of the second half, led the game until Delaney Ronaldo scored on a free kick with 23 seconds left. The Golden Flashes will now head to Ypsilanti, Michigan to square off against Eastern Michigan on Thursday. Finally, it was another Friday night filled with big-time high school football games, and TV2 Sports was there to cover it all, and here is how those games turned out. The Garfield G-Men hosted Campbell Memorial and took care of business 56-14. Medina improved to 6-1 with a 52-38 win over Menor at home in a crazy game, and Wadsworth went into Stowe and took down the Bulldogs in a stunner by the final score of 49-3. A lot of offense on Friday night. That will wrap things up for us at Sports. For more TV2 Sports coverage, make sure to tune in to Sports Corner later tonight at 8 right here on KentWire.com. For TV2 Sports, I'm Matt Corrali, saying wherever the ball flies in the air, TV2 Sports will be there. Good night.
National Taco Day is October 4th, and Taco Bell has a special announcement for all celebrating.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
And Kim Kardashian agreed to pay $1.26 million of fines to the Securities and Exchange Commission. The payment settles civil charges after the reality TV star posted a crypto asset on Instagram. The SEC charged Kardashian with failure to disclose that she was paid $250,000 to publish her post.
Kardashian agreed to the order without admitting or denying the findings. The SEC chair said the case is a reminder that when celebrities or influencers endorse investment opportunities, it doesn't mean those investment products are right for all investors.
And Taco Bell is celebrating National Taco Day with a new feature on the Taco Bell app. The fast food taco chain will be bringing back their Taco Lovers Pass for their loyal customers, and you can buy a pass only on October 4th. This pass would unlock a secret category on the menu and will allow customers to earn a free taco a day. This deal only lasts 30 days, so get your hands on this pass or else you'll miss it.
Odin, can you scoot in a hair?
You know, you guys, I'm not going to lie to you. When I first read this, I thought, oh, that's fine, but I'm not going to Taco Bell on National Taco Day. I am hitting up some authentic places
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
I
sounds like a
agree.
good idea.
Yeah, you know, like I want a little, like a chicken taco, like a shrimp taco, put some cilantro on top, you know?
That sounds like fun. Get me the EpiPen though, because I'm allergic to shrimp.
Oh my god! Well, Odin, we will keep you far away from the shrimp.
Okay.
You can have another kind of taco.
Okay.
What is your favorite taco, since you can't have that?
You know, like you mentioned, chicken, baked bean, or not baked bean. Why I say baked beans? You know, bean tacos are pretty good.
Bean tacos.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I just like the regular ones. Oh, I like chicken too. I feel like
Chicken.
I'm pretty basic like that when it comes to tacos.
I go with meat. I prefer meat instead of chicken. I don't know.
Meat's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you guys know on social media which one I got. But that's all we have for you guys today.
Thank you for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website.
And our social media platforms at Kent Wired. I'm Matt Corrali.
I'm Odin Amador-Gorby.
I'm Nuried Hurtado.
And I'm Erin Sullivan. Have a great night, Portage County.